Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. We are coding boxes. I am thinking on how to actually do this. This is not easy. How do we do this? We'll have to see. Hmm. The thing with the lines is that the lines won't have collision because they are not taken into account. Okay, let's add a comment. To do implement line box type. We'll see. Maybe we make it just a very thin rectangle. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I got all my polygons in a list. Now I need to get the resulting polygons. And for that I already implemented the scripts for that. Oh, but I also need the flags. Alright, for that we need flags as well indeed. So you're gonna be the inside polygons and you're gonna be the merge flags. Merge flags. If the polygon is to be inserted, we need to push a condition. So it's all about the box type. If the type of the box is a mergeable, then it should merge. If the type is basically battle box type merge, then it will return a true, and then that true is gonna be here. Yes, that's what we want. Once we have the flags, we need to define that for the both of the points, the outside polygons as well. They are different. However, the directions is gonna be a bit of a trouble to define. Okay, I will have to see that eventually. Alright, we got now our very list of polygons. These polygons may not be of the same size though. If they are not of the same size, I need to do two separate lists then. Oh boy, let's see. This is the resulting polygon. So whatever we do here, we kind of need to do again, but a slightly different, because it's different. Sometimes inner polygons don't combine, but other polygons do. Hmm. Alright, so we do stuff in here. This is gonna get us one singular polygon, because inside that array there could be multiple polygons. Is what I'm getting. Because like I am giving away a list of polygons. These polygons are arrays. They are always arrays. So yeah, I'm giving away a list of polygons. With their flags, I'm getting them back. Then I just need to fetch one polygon at a time and do the things. Alright, we got one polygon. That polygon contains points that I have to iterate, and that's why I kinda do this. Why is the Spectre? Hi! What do you mean gay? Meow, I'm gonna gay you. Meow. Alright, in here we're gonna get the length of all the points in the polygon. And we're gonna do a for loop for every single one of them. I already have a variable. Use the variable points length plus this. Over here now we're gonna fetch our points. And I guess we could save up on IDs as well. Okay, those are the IDs that we need. This is gonna be a J instead of an I. Now the thing here is that we need that direction, because a point always has a direction. How are you doing, Spectre? Meow meow. Over here I calculate the direction as a point of direction, starting from the first point going to the second point. Technically I don't need to really don't know, it's just I store the directions because I don't want to be calculating them every single time. But probably I don't need to do that. I can just get the directions as I need them. Yeah, and then just increase plus 90 or minus 90 depending on the phase I want to face. I don't know if that makes sense. But then I need to take into account as well the fact that the polygon could be of 2 points. And because it could be of 2 points, it's gonna be different. Oh boy. If I just insert all the polygons without any filter, I will need to then check each polygon to see if it has only 2 points, and then if it only has 2 points, I don't do anything with it. We could try that, I guess. Like, here we go with the polygon union and that. Over here we have a flag that returns this if it's not true, but we need another one to check the size of the polygon. So that way I can just avoid not placing it in there, I guess. So if the length of these polygons is less than 6, meaning that it's not a triangle even, then it just does nothing and returns them as they are. And because they are not merged, we're gonna repeat this. Okay, and advance into the next polygon, so forth, so on. I think that's what I want. And I don't need to check again into this. All right. Multi-polygon inside. Okay, we got the polygons. We got every single polygon iterating in here and doing stuff with it. What do? We fetch a direction, but the direction is gonna have to be calculated in real time actually. Ah, I need already the normal angle with the points. Okay, how do we do this? In a way, this is helping me. No, it does not. This only keeps the index of the points that I need, yes. However, I can just avoid accessing those points if I just store these points in a variable instead. Probably nothing that I'm saying is making sense to you guys, but you know, I'm a bit of a nerd. So we need to fetch these and then fetch the second ones as well. And I only need 2 points, I believe. The other points are just calculated from these points. Especially these other two. Okay, so from the polygon we access the slot number J, not I, J. And from these as well we access the slot +1 of that. You nerd, what do you mean nerd? I mean, I did say that. I have retrieved from school. Hi there. Nice. Hello, Conito. How was the school? A gay nerd joke. Spectre. Wow. Silly Cooper. Don't listen to him, Conito. Don't worry. He's like that these days. Your hormones are hitting hard, you see. Pretty nice. I had people writing silly stuff on my bandaged arm. Oh, pretty fun, I will say. At least you're getting some support from your friends in school. That's nice. So from point 1, give me the direction to the point 2. That is what you're doing here, right? Yeah, it's storing the direction, but then the direction is subtracted. Oh, it's then cancelled out. Okay. Over here, the direction is just, again, the same. Point direction from the first point towards the next point in the succession. That helps. Wah wah, says Spectre. Wah wah, you too. Alright, so let's see. The direction, I get the direction now, I can do the other stuff. Right now I am just handling the points that are inside, so. And because two of these lists could be different. Let's do that again in here. Instead of using the ones from outside, inside, you're gonna use the ones from outside. Get the list and start doing stuff, okay? Me not furry, not a rice reference either. Then why you meow? Meow. You know that meowing is so furry. My mouse disconnected and reconnected. Wow. Happens. Okay, we get the direction. Perfect. I will focus on you later. I'm focusing right now on the inside points. Well, this is just to calculate the other normal angle. God dang it. Keyboard. Meow. Thank you. Actually, I can be focusing on both of them. Why not? Let's just place this here, place this here, place this here, place this here. Imagine being a gay nerd. Won't be me, Spectre. Don't be mean. Okay, in this I need both of these points. But because the other hasn't changed it, because it's only 2 points, I can just grab both of them. You should get new mouse and keyboard maybe. They are connected, they are kinda new. The fact that my PC is just not accepting the port of connection for them is just another thing. Also, I don't know what you wrote there. It got deleted before I saw it. Oh well. Don't type it again, of course. Do not. I mean, I have my points. Maybe I can grab this full-on condition, actually. And paste it all the way in this one. Oh, okay, safe eating. Don't choke on your food, please. Eat well, meow. I need to sleep more. I need to stop sleeping too late. Alright, the length. If it's upper than 6, then you're gathering the angle difference of the next direction, neither direction. And you're grabbing the id.x for that. So that's why where you come in handy. Because the other direction helps me get exactly the next direction. Spectre, you also need to eat. Go eat. Okay, this gets tricky now. Because I need the directions, but they just got calculated, so there is no directions. And doing a full loop just to calculate directions is useless, when I can just be doing it in real time. So I guess in here to get the other direction, which is the next one, I will need to use the second point, but also fetch the next one using these numbers somehow. I mean, since I am not storing an idx variable, now it's fine. Food is optional. You're gonna fucking regret that. Well, what was I doing? Oh yeah, getting these. I think I'm gonna get them in here instead. And let's do a loop around. How? Using these, the model points length, and we don't need this anymore because if it wraps around, it's gonna get 0 and 1 correspondingly. Perfect. I kinda need to use this for the other one now, because you're gonna be 4 and you're gonna be 5, because the previous one is 10 and 2. Also, this needs to be 0.1x and 0.12 and that. And P2y. Perfect. Why am I gonna regret? You will find out. You will find out, don't worry. Yum, 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 yum. Alright, so get that and get that. Perfect. Get the angle difference. Yes, you got the angle difference. If it's that, you do this. You get other, but I am not inside the battle box, so this actually won't work. I mean, I am not using a with statement, so with other I refer to the outside plane, the one that is running this with statement. Yeah. So the one that is running this with statement is the one that is running this function to begin with. So all instances of other need to be removed actually. Yeah, it's gonna take a while to delete all of them. Maybe not much of a while. Now, do I just place ID? Because self otherwise will be complicated. Where is Caesar? Caesar is gone, I'm sorry. Whether you like it or not, that's how it is. Okie dokie, we're doing good. Alright, so we get the offsets, we calculate all of that with the angles, yada yada, we calculate this again, we get the point based on this third point. Okay. Over here we need to use the second point then. And over here we also use that point too. P2y and then using that we do stuff here. I need to use the starting ID. I mean, line ID is paired with something else? With the object ID, yeah. With the one that is executing the code. That's actually not good. Yeah, the formula is different now because it's executing it another object. Before I relied on the ID of the boxes themselves, but now the IDs are different because these functions are being executed by another thing. Me back from eating. That was quick. You're a quick eater, huh? I probably need to change the way this works, perhaps. Like, alongside the line ID, you need to also give the object ID. Or just make so the line ID is unique. Because where else is this function being used? It can be different as the thing. Because colliding IDs. God damn it. So this is just filler code that is useless now. Yeah, because for colliding instances, if collision line in here, if the place is meeting, only the ID is pushed. But then this ID could overlap with other objects, and because of that, I cannot just not provide this kind of architecture. Skipping food is faster than speed eating. That's true, but like that's unhealthy. Food is one of my weakness, okay? So you are just chugging everything, huh? Haven't eaten since 7 a.m. And what time is it right now? It's quite late for me, but I don't know if my time is exactly your time. No, don't skip eating. Don't pay attention to Spectre. He doesn't know what he's saying. Okay, I will keep the system, but I need a new line counter, sort of. But first of all, okay, so if the angle of the line is closed, then don't do another one. If it's open, then you need to do a line. And that's why we use two internal points. And this is the outside. Oh, these are outside points. How I did not notice that. Okay, I kinda need to do something. Copy this only. Oh my god. Why every time I want to copy, the computer just decides to disconnect the keyboard and stuff? I am noticing that that is a consistent thing that it does. Okay, in here, because the collision line is... But how is my outside lines coordinated? Oh boy. Okay, because I'm merging things are different. God damn it. Okay, let's hope this doesn't break the system. I'm just gonna wipe this one in the top. And this one is stuff that gets calculated, and that. And this is the point that gets the next direction, yes. Get the difference, do stuff, yada yada. Get the angle, and over here you do the inside out, inside out. And you get the point direction of the new point. Didn't I do that just here? No, this is different. And because it's different, it needs another ID. Save time and money. Food is optimal. Is optional. And then you will be in the hospital. Don't do that. Don't listen to this freak. Alright, over here we do a collision, but only with one of them. Which is the outside one. Yes. I need to change all the instances of line of start ID with line ID instead. Because that's gonna be a variable that I'm gonna need to use a bunch. No, because that will be unoptimal as well. Doesn't really matter, but... Okay, maybe it does. Less instructions, more performant, I believe. So this is gonna be increased by 2 after the shenanigans that happen here. And in theory, this is done as well. Now over here, this that is inside gets removed. And then we need to gestionate these ones. But these are given by the... Yeah, they are given by the system, not by me. So this is line ID. And over here we remove the one that is the outside because this is the inside part only. Over here we do as well an increment of 2, although it shouldn't really matter. One is always guaranteed. So it's always an increment of 3 actually. Can someone hand me a lighter? My pen stock ain't working. And a lighter supposedly fixes that? I'm too fat anyways. Do exercise then! Okay, so if the line is instead of size 1, over here we calculate this with the stuff, we fetch another set of points. But this one is this. Now, because the total size of the polygon it's of size 2, the other is also size 2. Both of these don't get modified, so they just get passed as they are. And because they are just passed as they are, okay, this gets passed as they are, so therefore in the other side there should be also as well the same. Can I guarantee that though? I think I can. So this will be something like this actually. And the offset gets normal there. Everything here passes normally. And then in here I need the other point, which I already have in here. But it doesn't exist in the other one. So over here I need to do this again. Need to make sure I am not using this one. It's been using here. Almost. Okay, everything seems good so far. Close these. And over here we are doing shenanigans with these points now. With direction and direction. Oh boy. That's a bunch. So over here we are also doing the line stuff. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7. We need to increment the LAN ID by 8 then. And this other one just gets removed because it's not used anymore. I don't know, I'm tired and I need cuddles. Ah, silly Spectre. I will give you cuddles after stream, okay? Do we have a deal? Line ID is 0. It always starts in 0. Now, this will be executing every single frame. What I want is to actually do this whenever stuff changes in the polygon. But for that I need to store this information. These new points that were calculated probably should be added to the list. So I can just be calculating only the line directly with it. And not be recalculating all this math. So save them in this order and be executing them one by one. But then we have separation of lines, so that doesn't make it. I should probably save only the arrays. It could be an array of arrays though. Better get ready for the foreigners incidents. Silly Spectre. So if I move one box by 1 pixel, there is a chance this collides with another box. It is not secure, but I should make the check. So this is gonna make the check again. But for that I need to clear the flags in order to recalculate all this. If not, then no changes were made and we just iterate with all these points the collisions, because the collisions didn't change. Is that how we are gonna do it? No, better get ready for the foreigners incidents. Thinking about never mind, I forgot. The foreigners incidents. You mean the Minecraft? The thing that we want to do in Minecraft? We could do that eventually, yeah, don't worry. Alright, so all these should only be executed if there is a flag that says so, otherwise do stuff. But what is gonna be that flag? It has to be something with the battle system. I specifically made this for that reason. Okay, this will have to do. So for the solving here, we need to get a check of an array length. If that array is cleared, that means we need to recalculate it. If this is greater than 0, it means that there are already lines saved up. Then you should just go through all of those. So I need to save these actually. And then over here we rewrite the length because we are not using the other one. So over here, because the lines are being checked and that stuff, we need to do an assignment to collision amounts. Over here, we're gonna run the player collision function. Wait. But the player collision function is only used because... oh no! Complicated. I hope this doesn't break the system, because if not, that's gonna be a problem. Over here, we're gonna use the object battle box function. We need a reference to that method. And we need it multiple times more in here. And down here only we need it 2 times. There you go. Some of the stuff doesn't line up. Well, oh no, we also need to store the direction. Because... shit. This is complicated. Anyways, not alone but all the clues together, you saying. What you mean? 3% at least, Lamau. Spectre trying to convince Kanita to furry. What the heck? Okay, so I need to store the direction and I need to also store a boolean. So the way we are gonna be doing this instead is gonna be in here. Call a variable called line. and fetch all the data from this place. So in here we just need to put the line number 0. Then get the direction of said line as well. And lastly, get the boolean. And over here we just use the index for the IDs of the lines. And pretty much this should do all of our bidding. He already is, I'm just pointing it out still. So this system doesn't depend on the line type. So we can just ignore the merged flag and that's it. Spectre admitting he's fanboy in public. That's crazy. It's okay, Spectre. Just give him time. Just give him time. Wow. Anyways, what was I doing again? You keep distracting me, guys. Meow. Alright, this is the reference to the array. Arrays don't get duplicated. They just pass the reference, because that's a waste of memory otherwise. So I am hoping this works. So lines has a shortcut now. Over here we're gonna array push lines 3 values. No, 1 value, but it contains 3 stuff. It contains these positions, and probably I should reference them as well. And true, okay. Or here maybe I could just do line. Something like this. Yeah, pretty much it's only this. Over here we're gonna kinda do something similar. So we are just creating one. Over here we use the direction. And it's a true, yes. Now over here is gonna be complicated because there is a bunch of lines. Okay, so bar line is gonna have to be this one. And the dir is just gonna have to be this one. So we don't calculate more than one. I could even do the array push before this though. Array push. lines, store the line, store the direction, store the boolean it uses. And yeah, rinse and repeat until we are done with all of these. This time is a false. And this is already defined, so more and more. There you go. We're doing great. If this works first try, I'm gonna be very happy. So I don't need an array of directions anymore. I'm gonna have to check that later. And this. And we get again this. And this is gonna be a false. And over here we fetch again the line. Whoops, that's not how you do it. The heck? Well, just adjusted yourself. Put the line in here. Over here I should probably do dir, because it's doing an arithmetic operation. It's actually false. Interesting. Grab this. And put this again. And this time is a true. Alright, we did it. But we are far from done. Gonna grab this. Because over here we are missing these additions as well. So over here we're gonna replace it with line. But place this. Grab this with a dir. And just right below it, need to place the array push. Is it me or it smells like food? Ray, don't take me bad, but you being in that kind of relationship is interesting. Why, thank you, I guess. Never seen anything like that before. There's our first time always, yep. It's cute. You know what I've noticed about Wisp? Artists seem to like the fanboy feed more than the adventure feed when I let them choose. Of course, what do you expect? No, honestly, what did you expect? What did you expect, Spectre? That sounds funny. Of course they are gonna choose the fanboy one. Silly Cooper. Alright, if my numbers are not wrong, this should work on its own. Weird for me at least. Okay. Now, we need to think, how do we do this? By default, of course, it's gonna start empty, but as the box is resizing and changing size and all that stuff, it's gonna run these functions. Okay, one thing that I want to do is probably get rid of the direction array, since it's no longer needed. Up here is not being called. When you're drawing, the directions help, supposedly. But doesn't seem like it. Because yeah, I do triangles. Direction is just non-existent. Okay, so what happens to the direction is something I have to figure out. So is the direction points used for anything besides use that? Doesn't seem like it. So I'm just gonna delete the directions, and if it doesn't break, I am happy then. Because it seems, yeah, directions is just not used. Doesn't matter. Never did matter. Alright. Every time it redefines itself. Skirts are comfy. I have never worn one, so I guess I will try. Hmm. Alright, I need to basically handle every single box update. If the box rotates, there's a chance it merges, so I need to clear the points. If the box changes size, there's a chance. If the box changes position, there's a chance. Every single function does, apparently. If the origin changes, the whole box changes, so therefore I need to change that, yes. I probably need to make a function instead. They are, it's true. If you say so, Spectre. Meow. Who am I to question the fanboy creature? Let me think. Battle box update points by origin. I need a function to clear the cache. Okay, in here, with the battle system of the object game, we need to get their length first of all. What is the variable? Because apparently it doesn't help me. If the length is greater than 0, it means we need to clear it. And that's it. We clear the cache. Why does it return if it's 0, 0? Me no get. Oh, it's the offset, so 0 means there is no change. Therefore, if there is no change, nothing will be done. But we want this to happen. So we are gonna put this like this. Like this. Over here stuff happens and there is an update. So we clear the cache. Over here stuff happens, we clear the cache. You're down. I think I'm gonna place you up. So we clear the cache, we clear the cache. Clear, 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 and clear. And this is the function for that. This is not something that the users should use. Over here, if the points get updated, you clear the cache again. If new points get defined or reset, it should also do that. Mm, get leashed. Why are you leashing my Spectre? You started it, you freaking Spectre, silly. Okay, I did the functions in here, but there is functions that also modify the box. And they're in here. When you resize the box, you update by, okay, it calls the, no, but it calls it. But then this one is gonna call it, so I think it's fine, okay? This one will also kind of do the same. This one will do the same. This resets the box origin, so yep, it does that. This resets the box origin, so yep, it does that. No wait, box polygon points. Battle. Reset box polygon points. There is an update flag set. And because of that, it's gonna then run in there. But until it updates, it shouldn't do anything. Okay, nothing is done. Nothing is done. Over here, polygons get defined, of course. You set it to update, perfect. Alpha doesn't matter. Rotation does matter. I think my system is flawless. I did extra checks just for making sure, but I think it works. I need now an attack to test it out though. Because there's all these functionalities, but there's no attacks. Okay, let me go real quick, create a single attack. Enemy attack. Okay, fine, I'm gonna open it in here, then move it up there. Thank you. So this is gonna be test. We need a step function. The tank will be done if you press H, because yes, nothing is gonna be drawn, so we don't care about that. We just care about boxes. So let's see. You got it, click the cat. You got Inspector Ray, call you his. Yes, he's my cat. Meow. He's mine, not yours, mine. Tell them, Inspector. Anyways, what was I doing? Every time I turn around to see the combo, what's happening, I forget what I'm doing. Get meowed. Meow. Yay. Wawa. Indeed, wawa. Alright, we're gonna continue then. In here, I don't have functions yet to create battle boxes, so I'm just gonna create it the primitive way. This box is gonna exist in the center, a little bit more upwards. The depth is gonna be the instance battle box depth. And the object is gonna be, of course, a battle box. And that's it. We're gonna save this configuration over here. Box 1. Over down here we create stuff instead. So battle box resize box, yes. Set it to a size of 180 and 180. No, just 100. Instant true, please. The box that we're gonna be doing that is this one. Lastly, just rotate the box. I need to change a little bit the name of the functions, perhaps. Anyways, hello, Misty Snowflake. Pinar. The heck is that? Misty is so silly sometimes. Lastly, put the box. It's in 360, move it down there, set it to true, box 1. Move it to 300. Maybe I will be merging with the box already at that point. Actually make this a toggle. If keyboard check press, I am pressing the number 1, then do that. Okay, I'm gonna actually make it a variable instead, because that's what the game wants me to do. And if I press 2, move it back to Opis. You know what? Set this to false. I think by default it's false, right? Yes, by default it's false. Thank you. Backs away. That's a question to be answered in Teams. Oh, I think I get it. I don't think I need to know anymore. Never mind. Anyways, I think this is my attack. And now I need to trigger it in a room. So let's go to a room, the training area. Can you please open? Thank you. Now, over here, this one will trigger the test attack instead of attack number 2. Now, by default, my boxes shouldn't merge. So the weight area should be drawn on top. The drawing, I forgot about that, the drawing. Okay, we'll see how that goes in a moment. Yippee! Damn it. Illegal array use? What? Am I using it incorrectly, really? But I am doing array len. What do you mean? Is in another location? It says line 90. In battle box line collisions cache clear. Oh, when I am clearing. Ah. Where is that? I forgot where is that. Oh, here it is. Silly me. So you say that this is wrong? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. If a box gets removed as well, it should do the clear cache. Uh, if a box gets created, it should do it as well. Have you already tested all of this and it works? Yes, most of it. I am testing a new functionality now. And I have an error. Yay. 8 is out of range for my polygon. That's not good. Well, that means that the polygon actually passed the test and it's actually generating me polygons. Yay! Line 108. So it says that this one is out of range. Why is it out of range? Nothing else is using that, so yeah, it's something to do with the polygons themselves. Hmm. I mean, I haven't checked the format in which they return me the data, honestly. So I should probably look into that. So give me the result of inside and give me the result of outside. Also, my music stopped. Let's look at this other music. I have yet to make a playlist for music that I want to be playing when I am doing this kind of stuff. I'm gonna get away Jolty and RQ. Be right back. Alright, enjoy your plushie. Okay, so this is my polygon. There is an empty one. Why is there an empty one? So apparently you're telling me these two shapes actually merge? No, that doesn't quite line up because they are both type normal. They shouldn't merge. And the other one is kind of the same. Okay, something is wrong. Just copy the names. So supposedly I'm giving these. I should also get the merge flags because that's apparently a thing that I need to worry about. Okay, let's test again. So that is the first message. You're telling me the first polygon is like that? I mean, yeah, that's true. The first polygon is like that. And then the other is not defined. Something is not right. When I create another box, something is not right. Why is that? Because it hasn't updated. And because it hasn't updated, there is nothing to do. Huh. Okay, when I create the stuff, yeah, it does create with this stuff over here. The inside and outside ones don't get filled up because this is how it is. There is nothing defined until at least a step has happened. The point in which this is created is interesting. Yeah, that didn't work, but we are figuring out why it did not work. So the drawing is gonna draw when there are triangles, and it's gonna draw when there are points in here, which needs to be filled up these ones. But since none of those actually exist, because there's no points, in theory, nothing will be drawn. And because nothing will be drawn, that's actually good, I guess. So it needs to pass through the step once so it can pass through this one first. Alright, I guess that's good. That means that I'm passing something without points. So, because there is something with no points, over here we are exiting early and returning the array as is. Because it doesn't have the enough points. And because there is not enough points, it returns the array just as it is. And because it returns it just as it is, it passes over here just as it is. Because there is nothing in the first one, nothing will be executed. Then the problem lies only in the first one. Alright, if the problem only lies in the first one, must be something to do with this. But what is it? Why can you not access the space in the array properly? Oh, because you're a plus plus. No, you need to be a plus equal to. Over here, you too. Because you're incrementing in 2 by 2s. That's what it's probably doing. I forgot my format of points myself, apparently. Okay. If that was the only problem, we will see it working. So the data seems to be in correct order, actually. And now, stop that. Return again because that's gonna be printing it every single time and I don't want that. It's gonna take a while. Is this music or is this just ambient noise? Is that Steins Gate music? It reminds me so hard of it. No, apparently it's just abandoned underground ambience for deep work or coding. I don't know how to feel about that. Let's put this other one. That looks more like it, honestly. We got an error. Yippee. Outside point? I thought I removed all of those. Huh. Where is it? 200 and this one? Really? Well, this is a simple fix, but I am kinda angry I didn't do this before. Technically, this is still the first try because I am just failing because of my bad writing of code. Alright, that should be it. Will you actually run this time? Well, message didn't send. I got clowned. I need to probably stop running this kitty because it's like easy, but it's so cute. Can you blame me? It's so cute. Finally, it's running, but it's actually doing stuff correctly, yes. It's not rendering properly because I didn't render it properly. But in theory, this actually working. And look, I get mobbed up. So yeah, it's actually working. Okay, it's actually working. Me glad. Now I need to resize the other box just so stuff is set up for testing. Okay, first of all, you move up instantly, please. As for the main battle box, just make it small. That's pretty much it. Make it instantly. God damn it. Holy bad luck. No, that's not bad luck. That's just something that I didn't take into account. Rendering will look weird, but in theory, all the logic should be working. Right now I am just doing the collision logic. I am not really focusing on the visual aspect. And doing the visual is actually easy. I'm gonna have to set the object game to actually do that. Or how do I do this? Complicated. Okay, two boxes. They are separated. Yeah. If I press 1, I cannot enter the box. A line should be showing on top of this box. I will mess with layers later for that. But yeah, you shouldn't be able to enter the area, and that's correct. Yes. Can I enter like this? No, it's pushing me down. I cannot enter the box. Perfect. Alright, let's think now. How will you handle attacks in different boxes? What do you mean exactly? Because actually this is just one attack. You handle all your logic and however you want. You can literally place bullets however you want and you control the boxes however you want. Here I am creating a box, as you can see. This is just another box. You get the main box. That main box you cannot delete. If you delete it, you're gonna make the game crash. But this main box, you could technically hide it. You can also do all the other stuff you can do with other boxes in that one. But yeah, you can just do that. You have control over what boxes what do. If you don't want a box in your game, you will have to do some stuff to just move it out of the screen. Which you can do, by the way. I can do a little demonstration right now here. So, battle, move box to, let's move it off screen. Important, you need to set this to true so it moves immediately. This will make it so it doesn't collide with the box because it's teleporting, so you will be outside of the area of battle. In a moment I will mess around with how the battle boxes are being drawn, by the way. And I need to make some considerations as well when doing other stuff. Damn it! I was so confident this would have worked. Why did my box go all the way over there? Wait. Is it what I think it is? Battle move box. Oh, I am using the object battle box. And because I am doing a width, it's moving all the battle boxes. Grrr. No. You just need to use by default the instance of the main box, not all boxes. I don't want that. There you go. Now only the main box should be moving. But still, apparently it's still moving me, the player, as well with the box. I didn't expect that. See ya, Conito. Gotta get prepared. Prepare for sleep. Yeah, because the player is just out of screen. If the player is out of screen, that means that my idea with the boxes being instant is not working. Why is that? Because the player should not be moving with the box. They left that code. Where is the player? No, this is the box. This is the... Oh, wait, this is the player. Stupid me. Okay, over here, the player has a movement phase. Here. Move the current velocities, yes. Move the horizontal thingy, yes. Move the conveyor. And in here you move as well as you should intend with the blue soul and stuff. Is there not a check for when the box is moving? Because now that I will handle multiple boxes, that's useless. That's not something that should happen. Over here it's actually happening. But no, we don't need that anymore. And I don't think that is the thing that is affecting. Okay, if it's not there, my only other guess is that the function of collision for the boxes is doing it. Doesn't seem like it is doing it though. When you make the collisions too good that they just do that apparently. I'm gonna go play Minecraft. Okay, good luck, have fun, don't get exploded by a creeper. Good luck, see ya. Something is moving my player. But what is it? I don't think it's the boxes themselves. Because my player is most likely within that box. Wait a second, I think I know what's happening. Where is the battle system? Here you are. Whenever you enter the phase of attack, it's in the battle state change then. Over here. This is what executes whenever the attack starts. It clears all the other stuff. But the player is not being placed in here. Something is not right. It's probably over here. Start dodge attack over here. The player is being placed in the locations of this place. Uh-huh. And the attack is being executed. Wait. The player is being placed exactly at the position of the box. So that's why it's not being shown, because the box is being done this. Okay, that makes sense. So I was overwriting two things. I want the player to be in the locations that you specify, yes, but when is the player attacking, like it's not a normal battle, it's an attack, I move the player to the box instead. Sometimes you don't want that like I want right now, so I'm just gonna remove that. Random guess, but the player could be choosing the base box to center itself into it. Yeah, that's what was happening. That's exactly what was happening, little... I don't know how to pronounce your name consistently. R-Y-E. Right, Re. There you go. Look at me, I am in the void. Wah, 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 wah. Okay. Technically, this little experience helped to solve some bugs, so thank you for the experience. Alright, moving back to where we were. Hey, yeah, you got it. Yes, I did. Alright, let's play around with the rendering of the box, shall we? So how do we do this? The battle box will by default draw stuff in here. It will create a surface of the size of the screen to draw its presence. That's how I set it up. And that's fine, I like it that way. Okay, so there is a box filled surface. There should also be a, oops, don't delete that, box outline surface. And it's kind of gonna be like that as well. So over here we draw the thingy and then that. Then we draw the surface with the box filling. Now over here we need to draw the lines of the other one. Box fill surface. Yep, that's how it's gonna be. So how can the bullets choose which box to go into? They don't. You have to know the location of your boxes, and you just place the bullets and you make them behave however you want. It's gonna be another thing with the layering as well. Alright, I'm gonna have to iterate through every single object battle box and draw first all the insides, and then all the lines on top of it. Depending on specific types of boxes, I'm gonna draw first the white lines. That will be annoying if two boxes are too close but want different attacks. That's up to you. You got the power to just select a box to only that attack to show in that box actually. If that's what you mean. Because yes, that option is available. It's gonna mess a little bit with the bullets though. Indeed. Gonna have to think well how to do that. Essentially, a box that is a hole needs to draw and make all the other boxes carve a hole in it. That sounds nice. But then I need the line to also be drawn on that surface. Oh. Only show and what the damage itself. Nah, the object is still there. It has still a collision. If you touch it, you get damage. We're just messing with the visualization of it. What else do we do? Okay, I need now a new place for all these drawings to happen. Clean up is gonna have to include another type of stuff now. There you go. I was thinking the object game, but then the object game is the first one that executes. When the box is updated, there's gonna be a mismatch with the collision line and the box itself. So why not choose which box the bullet can damage you in? That's too complicated. You could build that system yourself if you just change when the bullet can damage you in general. You have a variable that changes when the bullet can damage you. If it's false, even if the bullet is touching you, it's not damaging you. But if it's true, it will damage you. You will have to know then if the player is colliding with a box. And that's the tricky part. And besides, it will be not too intuitive, I will say. But I guess I can see, yeah, how can that be a problem when you have multiple bullets in multiple boxes? Sometimes bullets may overlap on other boxes. And you may get a ghostly hit. But then again, assigning a bullet to only hurt you when it's inside that box implies knowing that the player is inside that box. This isn't God, this is Game Maker, and you need to know stuff now. The player can be outside the box if they want to. After all, I showed you an example outside of that box. Okay, this is gonna be probably not a good idea, but it's the only way I can see it happen, because at the end of the day, I want these boxes to update and then draw in the proper layers. That is complicated. I could make every single one of these boxes, create an object helper, and draw their stuff in a corresponding layer. Alternative, I could make object game actually do it. Since the object game is the very first object that executes its events, I could make it so the helper in it draws all this stuff, but then that will mean all the boxes are in one layer. Alternative, all the surfacing and stuff is in the object game. So like do the point check, then the depth check, so the one that draws first gets bullet priority. We can see. The ideal is that you control your bullets and you know what you're doing, silly. Alternative, I can just do a check of like if this player is colliding with a pixel of this bullet. A visible pixel, not a hidden pixel. You're adding much layers of complication, which is already is. No, of course it's not gonna cut it. This that you're suggesting is way too complicated to implement. It's not impossible, but something can be done. And it has to do with if you're colliding with a visible pixel of the bullet. Something like that has to be done. Somebody made a port of like, when you play a video in here, you can check the colors of the pixels being drawn on the screen. And then if you're touching a specific color, something happens. In this case, you get damaged. That's how people ported some U-shapes and pixel levels in Game Maker, by just importing the video in it and playing it with an actual player. Tricky, and it's doable. I guess I could use that technology for this that you're suggesting. And could be. Then again, we need to do some shenanigans with the drawing and stuff. And each box is gonna have their area drawn and stuff. Ah, that's another thing. I guess in the end I actually need an ID in here. And I will need to assign IDs to the polygons that I am drawing the collisions of. Oh no, no, no. This is not good. That means that the drawing has to be different. It's the only solution that I can offer you. We can see that because this has another layer of complexity that my brain is not ready to process right now. Especially when merging with polygons. I probably need the merged area as well. Oh boy. The moment they merge, they will show the bullet in another space. It really depends on what you want to do. I think I'm just not gonna bother with that and leave it open. And that's it. You will have to play with the collision size in that case. Yeah, it's complicated. You're not thinking of the special case that I am thinking. That one cut it for all the solutions. Quite complicated indeed. But you could make easy conditions depending on your use case. Well, we can see that later, another time, in another version of this engine. We can discuss that in DMs. It's quite a complicated thing, honestly. There is more complexity to this than what you think. Okay, right now I am focusing on drawing these properly. How do we draw properly these boxes so it is drawn properly? It's just per box. Yes, I could do the checks and all that, but there are some special cases that are just... How the heck do I handle this then? Let's think. Maybe I should try doing it myself since my engine doesn't have multiple box supports yet. You could do that. It's quite a journey. I actually asked for help for ChatGPT. I am not breaking my head with an algorithm for merging polygons. The problem is not implementing multiple boxes. The problem for me is that I want to merge them. Because that sounds more fun. It's a toggleable configuration, but yeah, you can do that. And it's fun. Alright, yeah, I just need to figure out how do I draw this. Lamau Fair. Okay, what was my idea again? My idea was that in object game I create a object to draw stuff, and then that object will kill itself at the end of the drawing phase, and then that object will be recreated in the next frame. This to make sure that the execution order of the object is always the last. Or is there a way I can change the order of stuff? Let's ask. Can I change the order of object execution in GameMaker in runtime? Oh, really? Single view execution order variable processes events based on object order in the resource tree and instance age. Instance age is what messes with me. You must use manual structure method, okay. A manager object that lists all the instances in an array. His step append run the specific code of these instances. I mean, that's one way. And there's also begin and step and that as well. That's true. But will that cut it? Is that enough? These are being drawn in the draw step. They are being drawn in surfaces. So essentially my helper drawer needs to execute the code in the end draw. My own solution to merge polygons was a bit crazy. Tell me about it. What did you do? Because I used a light version of the where is it? A light version of the Grenier-Horman algorithm for polygon operations, Boolean polygons, but I just took the onion part. The onion, the onion, the I cannot pronounce that correctly apparently. Anyways, okay, my object render. Where is my object renderer? Wait, no, I don't need an object renderer. Do I? Ah, there is a problem. Okay. The problem is layering. These battle boxes have different layering, and the fact that I allowed for layer to be selectable is so you could choose the layer at which the box is drawn for your multiple effects. You could even put the box behind the enemy if you wanted to. But since there is gonna be multiple boxes and they can merge, and these merged boxes are two objects, then which depth do I take if these two boxes have different depth? Do I just... Ooh, I'm thinking, ooh. What if I just merge the boxes if they are in the same depth Yeah. For outlines, I decided to make a new box that duplicates ourselves and offsets them from the center, then calculates the outmost points to merge all of them. Sounds a little bit rebuscado. I mean, if it works, it works. If it works for your specific needs, that's fine. But for my specific needs, I needed this. I needed collision precision. Meow, hi Aristar! I forgot that I need my ref. Silly you. Hey, actually, I should make you a mod too. We can discuss that. I mean, I have Discord in here. I can just do that right now. Silly Aristar. Don't worry, you will have plenty of days. How is your hand, by the way? Alpine wants to commission something for me. Okay, you know what? This night, get into VR chat and we take photos, alright? Okay, this is gonna be a bit of a doozy because I need to control which can draw what. Okay, so there's gonna be merged polygons. These merged polygons, I need to merge them with these as well. No, but if I do it in draw end, it's not gonna cut it. Or will it? The depth. I'm forgetting that the depth actually plays a role. Never mind, it does. It does. So in here is arena rendering. So in here I need to make the perfect order for stuff to draw properly. Alongside the line collisions, I need to also pair the boxes that are merging. If they are not merging, I don't need to do anything. Anyways, what happened in my chat? When I am done with the stream, we can do RP Spectre, and yeah, I restart. We can do stuff. So where am I trying to do at the moment? Render the box properly. Okay, I'm gonna make you a mod. Where is the button? I am blind. My brain is not braining right now because there is too much in my brain. You're gonna be on a standard one. Yay! I will read later what is the difference between one and another. So this in theory shouldn't change anything because I am still drawing the boxes normally. But I want to draw the merged boxes merged. And for that I need to first draw the outline and then the filling area. And they have to be like in different depths. Because right now the filling area is being drawn first and then the outline. It's been 2 hours though? Yes, I'm going for 3 hours. Meow. I personally think you should make a box render object that's just dedicated to that. I could! Yes, I could. But the problem with that is that all boxes will be in the same depth, and that's not what I want. I want boxes to be able to be in different depths if they wish to be. Boxes will only merge if they are in the same depth. No, priority is not the problem. The problem is depth of drawing. Sometimes I want boxes to be behind other type of boxes. And if they are behind and the player is in one box that is on top, then it only collides with that box and not the one that is below. There is a lot to think when dealing with these boxes. I need to deactivate all the collisions of the other box and make it so it doesn't merge if it's not in the same depth. But then the player needs to not take into consideration that because it's in the box with a higher depth. For that I will need to do a depth swap and then check if the player is inside any of them. And the first one that lands is the depth that the player will take. If the player is outside the boxes, then depth is not considered because it's not there. So all collisions must be checked. Wow, this is complicated. Alright, focus. One thing at a time. If I build the system first with all simple things, then I can think on how to do stuff. Okay, so let's see. If any other box is in the same depth as this other box, it should draw all the outlines first. No, it should all draw the bottom part first. And then cancel the drawing of the other box. Is that how I should do it? Okay, let's do this. Can draw is gonna be always true, but in here can be altered. So if the box can draw, then it's gonna do things. Inside here, first is gonna do one thing. It's gonna check all of its type. However, it's gonna skip the one that is itself. We don't want to do stuff with itself, of course. Now, these are all the other boxes. Aside from not being itself, it also has to meet the depth. Once the depth is met, we do stuff depending on the type of the box. When are the solve collisions events handled? In the end step, the drawing must be paired to the collisions themselves. So I want everything coordinated, but the collision is handled in this specific function. It's a very complicated line structure thingy because my box is a polygon and I do line collisions. And this function, which is the sol update collision, is being executed in the sol player and in the end step. Over here, sol update collision end step. It's being executed according to conditions of movement, and even if it's not moving, it will execute at least once. And that will do stuff with the collisions and stuff, with the boxes. No, it's and. Because I want... Wait, it's a continue. Different, I think is. Thank you for pointing that out. Let me see. So if the ID of the boxes are the same, we skip it. If the depth of these boxes is different, we skip it. So yeah, it must be an OR. So if any of these is met, we do stuff. If the ID is different and the depth is equal, then we do stuff. Okay. Let's do a little switch. Normal. You know what? You're gonna be the merge one. And if it doesn't fulfill that by default, it's gonna be the normal type. Actually, I don't need to specify it. I can just put default because I want that to always be the default. Alright. So if the battle box is of type normal and they are in the same depth, they are going to overlap their outlines. So first is first, we're gonna draw this. Also, over here, we're gonna put the count draw to false of the box that we are handling because we don't want to double draw a box. And if the box has already been drawn, meaning that this is false, then go over here and set it to true. So this all will be skipped. That's a good system, I guess. Okay, so draw their filling, yes. Now draw their filling again. Of this box, of all the boxes which match that. Next, you need to draw all the outlines. And for that we need to do again another with statement over here. I could save the IDs like... I could make a little array over here of boxes to draw, and then over here, if it passes, I'm just gonna push their IDs. And over here, if I remember correctly, the wait statement can iterate through the arrays as well of IDs of objects. Is that correct? Why did it open in my secondary screen? My computer is lagging. Gosh. I forgot you could do the width in GameMaker so hard, I just didn't think in that way anymore. It's very helpful when you're trying to iterate through all of the objects. I want to know though if the width statement can run array contained IDs. One or more instance to perform code on single obstacle on an object asset. One or more structs or the keyword global to access the global struct. The expression can take a number of different inputs. It's one or more structs, or the keyboard global, or one of these keyboards. Okay. So how do I do one or more structs? That's the thing. Do you have an example of how to do that? Clone struct, yeah. You don't have an example. Great! Actually, I just realized that there is a simpler way. Instead of doing this, because I already know which ones I am gonna do, I can just do a for. Boxes to draw. Variable e equals 0, e lower than the length, increments of 1. And the box that we're gonna be handling is the one in boxes to draw e. And to make it actually more simply, we can just use a with statement so we don't have to point stuff. And then we grab this again. So over here, draw the box outline with its appropriate filling and color. Wait, no, this is different. Over here, silly. You draw it as white and then you do the coloring apparently. Oh, I am just using 2 times this. Okay. That should do it. Over here we use the image blend to do the outline. So these outlines already come with color. Therefore in here, when drawing the surface, we just draw it as it is. The alpha is already in the surface as well, so just put all of it. I just realized that it's gonna be looking weird when it's merged. Because box color. Oh no! Box color! That's gonna be a problem. Okay. Right now, both of my boxes are type normal. And they are all in the same depth. And because they are all in the same depth, then this is gonna draw itself how I expect it to be. So let's see. Let's see if it actually does it. I'll actually, you're probably lagging my PC. I need to close you. Next stream, you won't see this cat, okay? It's very cute, but no, it's lagging my PC. My PC cannot handle that much. Where is the player? Oh, end draw. Because it's end draw, the player is behind the boxes. Fuck! Okay. Thing is, I need this. So I guess I'm gonna move that into the begin step, actually. Begin draw. Everything that is in draw is gonna be moved there. Except that one. I think this one needs to stay on draw. And next, we're gonna move all these in the draw. And just get rid of draw n. There, this should do it for real this time. There you go. So now if I overlap the boxes, yes, this is the effect that I wanted. Because these boxes share the same depth and the player is inside a box of one specific depth is affected by this box of the same depth. Right now this is not gonna work if I move this box into the lower layer. Because it's not gonna drop, but you're gonna still be able to collide. I need to do that later. But okay, that works. Now let's go for the real thing. So if it is instead a merge, thing is I am drawing first the outline. What if I exchange the position? No, don't. Maybe this is what you should do when you are in normal. Okay, let's think. I want this to behave differently when it's merged than when it's whole. Hole should make a hole in all boxes in all layers, I believe. Or do I make it so it cannot make holes in other one? It's probably for the best that I do it that way. I could make a list of what the hole can affect. Decisions. Okay. For now, let's just focus on one thing at a time. Switch and the type. Yes. Over here, we're gonna put the battle box type of normal. No. Merge, not normal. Merge. Yeah, I know it's wrong, Game Maker. I know, I'm getting there. So basically, this is a race of which one executes first. By default, this is the normal. So this is what is going to execute normally. However, okay, before doing that, over here I need to probably do the merging thing. So if this box is of type normal, but the other box that I am trying to merge with is a merge, that means... What does that mean? Yeah, I am doing the conditions because apparently there is how many combinations I can do with two boxes of 3 types? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 9 combinations. I need to handle those 9. So right now this is a box of type normal. It wants to merge with it. Oh, I apparently, whoops. There you go, much better. If I want to merge with this box, that means that I want to remove the white area of this box. So it's doing the filling though. First it puts the filling, then it puts the white outline. So what I want to do for this one is draw its outline. Draw its outline over there. Actually, probably draw the whole box. So draw the box that you want to merge with. Wait, but what if there's 3 boxes trying to merge with each other? Shit! I guess that's one way you could put it. Make the normal box just do all the logic. But what if there is no normal box? What if both of them are just merged? Because I made it so if both boxes are merged, they merge with each other. The purpose of the normal is that the normals cannot merge with other normals. That's why they exist. But merge can merge with any other. Except well, for holes. Holes do another type of thing, which don't require any polygon calculation complication at least. Okay, so how do we do this? Because this works with 2 boxes, but if there's 3, it's gonna not work. What I need in here is that all draw the outline first, and then they draw their insides. But then already this order messes with it. So how can I control that from other boxes? Because then I need to think of what happens if you mix a normal merge normal. It's gonna be weird. Okay, I need to think in layers. If it's a merge, its outline should be below its filling area. So whenever the other boxes are drawing their fillings, they cover the outline of the merge areas. So first the outlines should be drawn, and because the outlines are being first drawn, then the filling will come on top, covering them, and they will look like they are merged. Then for the boxes that don't merge, they are gonna draw their outlines up on top of the already merged area. So that looks like it's on top. So it's 3 layers. Okay, I think I get it. So first draw your outline, and I need to draw first the outline of these instead. So there has to be another one of these, probably. Down here. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So what's first? If it's a merge, draw your outline. Oops, don't delete that. If it's a merge, first draw your outlines, yes. Then you will draw your outline over here. If it's a normal type, save up on your outline hole. I don't know yet, but I think nothing yet. Now, once the outline has been drawn of the merge and the normal one, the merge will draw its filling area. And the normal one will also draw its filling area. After all that's done, the normal one will draw its filling area last. Wait, if it's a normal one, I should replicate this. No, if I do that, it's gonna be drawn below. That's not what I want. Wow, complicated. Because the normal has to draw its outline on top of the merged area already. But then this normal, if it's already overlapping with this merge, it has to merge. So merge kinda has to execute last after this. Wow, so much combinations that can be done. No, this is not the order either. Hmm. But then at the end, the normals draw their outline again. And last, the merge need to draw last. Because the normals are drawing this outline at this step, they should draw it before then. They actually don't. But then, because the merge is gonna be executing his filling area last, then merge doesn't need to execute his filling area here. So the outline will exist, but the filling area of the merge needs to be the last one. And there is no secure telling in here if it's the last one for sure. So what I need to do is again duplicate this, really? I mean, if it gets the job going. So over here you don't draw because you're already drawn over there. Over here you don't draw. And this order does it. It's just that I need to force over here to ensure it's actually being drawn correctly. Hello, Spectre. You should execute the code if it's the first merge whole box. The code should not need to care about the base box type, just how it needs to merge all the points. You think so? Because I believe there is a general rule in this. If that general rule is followed, then no matter the order in which you execute this, it always falls into place. Thing is how. Fanboy Demon? Hi there! It's Fanboy Demon. Hello, Meep. Meep, indeed. Well, for now this does it. It's very overcomplicated, but it does it. I need to think later on how to do it more optimized. For now, I only care that it actually draws stuff as it should. So let's see. No changes. They are still both normal types. One object execute that piece of code, which is what a handler instance will do, but it's just doing it all in one. I cannot do that! Because the depth is gonna be all in one. And I want boxes to be able to have different depths. That's why I need to do it like this. Okay, no changes. I fucked up something. God dang it. Both boxes are normal type, so let's walk this around. Normal type here draws its outline. Normal type here draws its filling area. Normal type draws its filling area. And last, this one draws their outline. Nope. That didn't work. Yeah, I will have to think heavily on how to do this. Because it's not as simple as you think. Dictionary of depths, and then how do I still control the depths of these? Essentially, what this system is gonna do is, well, the first box that executes will grab all other boxes of its same depth and then do the merging. So the first battle box that executes is gonna be the handler of all the other boxes of the same depth. If there is another box in another depth level, then that box will become the handler of that depth if it's the first to execute. I'm gonna have multiple handlers, choose dynamically by this rule, and the first one to execute of object battle box type. So I'm basically doing the handler here. A handler for all boxes of a specific depth. So I just need to see how to actually do all these in a specific rule. So all of the same type mix with all of the other types of the same depth. That is gonna be the tricky part. Because right now this is gonna work again. I am drawing outline an extra time, but I guess it works. Wait, I am drawing it in the wrong place actually. Yeah, because this is the filling. Box type. This is the filling. The normal type draws its filling. The outline of that box already has been drawn, but it has been covered by the... oh god. But then there is the outline of these, which could draw on top of these. Wow! Complicated. Okay, new idea, new idea. This is getting out of hand. In draw begin, every single box will draw its area and its outline, so we have already surfaces describing the shape of the box. What I probably need in here is actually create more surfaces. It's gonna be a lot of memory management, but more surfaces mean that I can separate it in proper layers, and then don't worry about the order of execution in this, because the layers are gonna be drawn in order at the very end. And over here we're just gonna draw in the appropriate layer the stuff that the box belongs to. I think that sounds simpler, no? Then maybe you should separate how normal and merge whole boxes are handled. Maybe. But no, I think my new idea works. It requires more memory, but the surfaces will work. Maybe that's what I need. And these are gonna be only used in here, so... be a list of points to draw, not the points to draw themselves. No, that doesn't work with my idea. Even if it were points, there is still a problem. The layer again. Look, I am not even thinking about the holes right now. The holes are very simple in my opinion. They carve a hole in the surface. And that's easy to do with blend modes. The problem here is the normal and merge actually. Because holes override all of them actually. Because a hole doesn't care if it's inside a normal or a merge type of box. The hole cares only to make a freaking hole in them. And he will do no matter the box. So I need to make sure that the holes are the last one to execute. So the problem I am facing here indeed is the order. I cannot control the order in which the boxes will come. For all I know, this box... Depth is a layer. Technically, depth 0 is a layer, and depth equal 1 is another layer. But if they're in the same depth, I need to separate that depth into more layers so they are drawn properly. I don't know if I explained it myself, but that's how it is done. If you want to handle layers, then why are you checking depth? Because I want the depth to be like... I already explained this to you, like... I want that the very first battle box draw that executes in here becomes the handler of all the boxes that are in the same depth as this box. So this box will handle all the other boxes that are in that same depth. If any other box is in another different depth, then that will become the handler of all the other boxes of that depth. No, I am not checking layers. Layers change the depth. And besides, I need to create the layers in the room, I believe. So no, layer is not what I want. Technically, depth is a layer. Except it's just a number. Put instances on the same depth with the same layer. No, you actually have to define it, don't you remember? We have two instance create for that. We have an instance create depth, an instance create layer. We can assign an instance to a layer, and this layer will have one depth. And then we can create an instance with the depth directly instead. Essentially, it's kind of the same, except that with the layer, you can kind of just call back into all your layer stuff that you have set up in here. But the way I am constructing this system doesn't require layers. I am heavily reliant on depth. And you know what? I think I figured out what I want. I think I figured it out, actually. I think I got it. Yes. I'm just gonna be using multiple layers. Well, multiple surfaces, aka layers. And these are gonna be local ones, actually. So merge lines. Okay, so I stated that the lines of a merge area should be drawn first. Actually, I'm gonna name it outline fill. You create an instance through the depth, we will create a game maker managed layer. Yeah, it's basically the same. Because with a layer I had to specify a depth, and a depth I had to specify a layer, apparently. We're speaking the same language anyways. So you're the merge outline, you're the merge fill, yes. There has to be a normal lines and a normal fill. And for now, let's just handle this. The holes will be handled differently. Well, actually, they still should have their own thing, yeah. Now, I am doing this separation because I cannot control the order at which these come. And that's true. I cannot control the order in which these come, so I need to do it simply. Okay, so now that I have that, I don't need to do all this shenanigan anymore. Well, I can still do, but it's gonna be more controlled, I guess. I don't need to worry about this anymore. And I don't need to worry about these shenanigans down here either. Wait, I need to grab the fill. There you go. Okay, so let's think now again. Makes sense. Bwah, says the Spectre. Hi, Spectre. We're still battling boxes, apparently. And yeah, I need to separate the lines because of the merging. So let's see. So surface, we're gonna be using a bunch of set targets. I can select a depth ID? Wait, since when that is a thing? Because if I can do that, I can technically do this now with just one surface. Hell, I can do that even with the application surface. What? Ever and Alpha in one dance were me? They may be busy. Give them some time. I need to investigate this new surface set target variable that I never realized that it was implemented apparently. Okay, yeah. I know the very basics. What is this about depth? It's an optional. The surface whose depth buffer to use if this surface has one. I can define it with a depth buffer. The above code checks the... Okay. What is this about depth though? And do my surface actually come with that though? That's all for the drawing to target the surface around the screen. This way you can tell by default the target surface depth buffer is used. If it has one. I don't know if it has one. Depth buffer, that's mainly for 3D I think. Well, it's gonna be useful in here. If it actually is useful. If it actually like can I implement it. I don't care if it's for 3D or not. If you pass another surface as the optional depth parameter. What? That surface depth buffer is used if it has one. If you pass another surface as the optional depth parameter, that surface's depth buffer is used if it has one instead. No depth buffer is used if the surface passed as the depth parameter has no depth buffer. The surface I am creating don't have depth buffer? Wait, I can give them a format. It can be used like that, thank you. Okay, but what about the format? Formats. You can optionally specify the format that will be used to store the surface data in memory. The default format is this. The first one, okay. The table below lists the formats you can use to create a surface and describes how much data is stored per pixel. Okay, which should know if you're transferring surface data into or from a buffer. So this is the default one. This format supports 4 channels, the green, blue, and alpha, with 8 bits each. Unnorm refers to these values being normalized into 0 or 1 range when reading shaders. Okay. Doesn't say anything about a depth, so next. Surface. This is just one channel? Supports a single channel. Wait, so I can create surfaces that just have 1 or 2 channels, draw stuff in it, and it will just hold those colors, and when I draw them, it's gonna be that color? Well, that's new. This format supports a single channel, is red. Since it only contains one channel, it takes a quarter of the space compared. Okay, of course, yes. When reading a shader, all channels except the red one will be 0. Yeah? I am assuming this is the same. This is 4 bits. This is 16 but float. Providing a higher precision, okay? Use case in HDRA as this format will allow you to use values past that, okay? Float, and float. That's it? The format supposes a single channel. It doesn't say anything about a depth buffer. And that's all the formats. And that's it. Oh wait, it's here. Wow. It can be used. Okay, I think I found it anyways. If automatic depth buffer generation is enabled, which is the default, I didn't touch that, so it must be the default. A depth buffer and stencil buffer are created for the surface. This can be turned off with these. Is there a way to check? Surface with depth enabled, surface with depth disabled. To use this function, you call it before creating a surface. Oh. By default, they are enabled. This applies to surface that you create manually, as well as application surface. To use this function, you call it before create, and then you can enable it again later if required. All surface created when these settings are disabled. The image below. Okay, but what are the chances that you are not drawing using changing the lines in the code? To properly preserve depth in 3D when drawing to a surface, not only should you have the depth buffer enabled, you should also have the C writing and C testing enabled. So I need to enable both of these. Or you know that you don't need a surface depth buffer, then it should be fine to simply call this function once at the start of the game to disable the buffer. Well, apparently I am using 3D stuff, however. Clipping mask. No. So I need to use the GPU set sig write enable. So I need to use these two, and by default what values they have. The default value is that sig writing is enabled. Okay. If it is enabled, then I don't need to do anything. What about the test table? By default is off. Maybe that's the one I need to turn on then. And then what do I do? Okay, the depth and test buffer are two data buffers. Yeah, the depth buffer. Oh, so that's the depth. C buffer. It's a graphics buffer. Distance away from the surface. That's what I want. The buffer can be displayed as a grayscale image. Okay. The application server is using regular draw events. Yep. The depth value you set manually in game code. Okay, I can set the depth with this. This depth is the C coordinate of the vertex. The GameMaker grabs the vertex. So I need to use this. Is what you're telling me. The depth value assigned to anything that's round, either automatically by GameMaker or manually using code. This can be the layer depth of the layers. An object's instance depth set through its depth value. I'm gonna have to use this then. We are learning, guys. We are learning. The C coordinate for 2D drawing functions uses the layers depth when drawing flat graphics, but this function allows you to use your own. Okay. So well, I need to set this to true first of all because it's not defined by default. Then the depth is being set to false. Because I am messing with the C test. But then again, actually this is true. because you don't know what they will be doing in your engine. You know what? I'm copying this code. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Wait, so I could have done the depth trick with just this and not change the depth of the actual object? Wow, an even more complex one. Okay, we're learning. We learned something new. So I'm gonna try just using one surface then, if what it says is true. Do I even need a surface then? If I can just use the depth, I don't need surfaces then. I got already my surfaces with the stuff that the boxes represent themselves with. So I just need to do something like this. Delete the semicolon to keep it consistent. Okay, so at the end of the code, we are gonna set back the depth. Mainly because it's gonna execute another draw. And then instead of drawing itself, it's gonna draw a bunch of stuff. We're just gonna be messing with the depth of the stuff. What is the default depth? Is it 0? I would love to know what is the default depth if it is provided. By default, it will be equal to the current layer's depth. This can be changed. That doesn't help. By default, it will be equivalent to the current layer's depth. You're telling me it's exactly the same depth as the box? So this is actually returning the depth of the box? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I probably just need one surface. But I need data. I need to know what is the number in by default. And I need to know as well what is the depth. Okay, so right now this line is gonna fail because the thing doesn't exist anymore. I deleted a bunch of stuff. Doesn't seem that anything will break it though. Well, except this one. Okay, right now it will do nothing. Why outside the can draw if statement? Because it's set to false when it's running here because of this check. Anyway, you will get it eventually. Let me know. Okay, there is the depth, and 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 there is the depth. Okay, I get it. Okay, so the depth at which it's being drawn. Wait, won't that mess with my stuff? Yeah, I need a surface. Okay, then let's create one surface. A local one. Surface. Create. Game width. Game height. Beautiful. Next, set the surface target to that. And there you go. Now we're gonna have to be using GPU set depth to be drawing inside this surface. Why does the main menu not select the first option by default? Eh? It does. What do you mean? Anyways, let's see. Switch. First, we're gonna draw the box itself, the normal box. I think I should define some constants. Okay, I need to visualize again my layering. I don't know if the depth actually matters when it's in the surface, because then it will be drawn below or not. Okay, let's say 0 is the merge outline. 1, what will it be? Because the merging outlines must be at the very bottom. Well, it doesn't color the option like it was selected because it's a transition, silly. And because it is a transition, you are not allowed to do anything in a transition. When the transition is over, then you select stuff and you're able to select. Get it? Oh, it has been 3 hours already? Okay, Spectre, just let me try to finish this real quick and we will get into that, okay? Okay, the merge outline. Then get the normal outlines. Do I get the normal outlines? No, I get the normal filling. So it is covering on top of the thingy of the outline of the merge. Then put your normal outlines. After all that has been placed, place the merge fill. I think this is how you expect it to go. Let me see. Let me visualize it. I am using my brain for this. The outline is here. It gets covered by the filling of a normal box. Then the normal outline is being drawn. It may overlap another normal out filling, which is fine. Then the merge fill covers all the lines that should be covered. That's okay. And this is the order for now. We are not considering holes right now yet, but this is the order. Okay, following that order, then GPU set over here. This is the box fill area of a normal one. It's gonna be in depth 1. And this is the outline, this is the 2. And now with every other box that shares the depth, it's gonna cancel their drawing. Okay. We kinda need to just be copy pasting this in all of them. And just changing the number. Oops, that's one off. Alright, for the holes, it's still a to do, because we still don't have holes implemented. So for the merge filling area is 3. And for the outline is 0. We just repeat that over here. And in theory, this should have everything organized just how I expected. The surface is being drawn like that. Lastly, reset the flags. I don't know if it matters if it's before or after the surface. It should not. Just reset the target. Set the depth and the grade table back to what they were before. And lastly, let's draw the surface. The surface is a local one. I hope it doesn't delete by the point it reaches here. Draw it in the coordinates 0 because it's a full screen one after all. We don't need special modifiers. Actually, why do you have all this if it's all by default? Yeah, the scale is 1-1, the rotation doesn't rotate, the color is by default, the alpha is by default. You should be a normal draw. Okay, you're a normal draw, so... Okay, draw that, and lastly, surface free. Free that surface, we don't need it anymore. I hope this works. Okay, real quick, again. My box is both normal. Ah, it looks weird. What you mean? If it's not selected, it's telling you that you cannot do anything yet. No, my boxes! What happened to my boxes? God damn it. Ah, what happened to my boxes? Why my boxes not show? Is it because of the depth? Do I need to add 200 to all of these numbers? Or are you telling me I need to use numbers from 0 and 1? Can you mouse stop please disconnect? I don't appreciate you disconnecting. Nice boxes, my guy. Shut up. Maybe depth plus target depth? Well, that's what I did basically. So I hope my boxes are now on screen. I added 200 to the target depth. They are still not there! Is it because I am freeing the surface? What if I don't free it? Links, why? I'm coming, I'm coming! Come on, come on, come on, come on. Little cat wants to see their boxes. God dang it. My boxes are not being shown. Why? Why is my boxes not shown? I am just gonna undo all these changes. I was promised cuddles. I know! It won't matter because it's a temporary surface anyway. Actually, you're right. Is it asking me to make it permanent then? I want to draw things on screen. Why doesn't it let me? Fine, you have been promoted. You are not temporary. You are persistent. And I am doing a bad practice by not clearing you. Come on, come on, come on. Fuck you. Something is wrong. And I'm not sure what it is. Yes, I know I am still creating a surface every frame. And it's stuck in memory and it's gonna cause a memory leak. I know that I am doing a bad practice, yes. But apparently the problem is not that this is a local one. And the problem is not that I am freeing it afterwards, apparently. Am I using wrong this? I have no fucking clue what I'm doing wrong. That doesn't make it permanent. Fucking god dang it. So okay, let's do what you're doing, what you're saying. So you say this will fix my problem. So if surface exists, doesn't, you're gonna create it and then set the target to that. If by any chance it gets killed, I'm gonna draw in here also a clear of black with 0 alpha. And this is gonna be the last test. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna figure it out by myself outside of camera. Come on, come on. No, it's not that. I swear I'm gonna kill this. And then I'm gonna kill this. Because yes. However, I guess this is the last one for real now. I don't know if it's something to do with the test enable. Most likely it is. Hey, my boxes are being drawn! Yippee! But they are not being drawn in the correct layers. Fuck! Because the test enable thing is not enabled, most likely that's why it doesn't work. Well, shit. There are no merges. The outline should be on top of all of them. Something something trademark. Alright, enough for today. I didn't even get to do documentation. I have the Wikipedia open. Well, that will be for another time then. I'm going. Take care, guys. Thank you for coming to stream. Thank you for you guys coming, even though all my audience were just mods apparently. I mean, you were just promoted today. Well, see you another time. When this is done, I'm gonna be making some good shit. Some good real fun games, really. Don't delete the potato, please. I'm gonna delete the potato. Because I'm angry. Grr. I'm not one. Oh, Misty. That's right, you're not one. So you're the other one that was watching. Oh, I see. Wow, my PC is dying. and my mouse and keyboard still keep disconnecting. Anyways, we can negotiate that later, Misty. I'm going now. Thank you again for coming. See you another time. And get this music. Get this music out of my view. Get this music. I don't like it anymore. See ya. I don't have a waiting screen for end streams.